This is one of the worst things that can happen to our young, impressionable teenagers, our kids, our youth. Chapter 140, Scales, is a very important learning lesson just for that. And good thing Denji has to experience that so we don't have to. Leave it to the great Tatsuki Fujimoto for another great chapter of Chainsaw Man, teaching us about the young, impressionable youth about cults. If you guys don't want to be spoiled, you are in major danger of joining one of the worst cults ever. And you don't even know you're joining it. The only way to get out of this matrix is to catch up on the Chainsaw Man manga. Spoilers are here, so get going, catch up on Chainsaw Man so you don't end up in this crazy ass cult. One of my favorite parts about this chapter is not only does Denji get catfished, it stays on theme with the church, religion, and more specifically cults. They're all kind of related, right? A religion is just a really big cult, right? In the public safety arc at the end with Makima, she basically sets up this lore, this prophecy. You know, the four horsemen, Chainsaw Man being feared in hell. And about all these powers that Chainsaw Man has, he can make people forget history. So at the end of the last main arc, it basically sets up for this arc, which you could comp this lore, this prophecy as kind of like a Bible story, which is a great transition for this current arc. Having that theme, the metaphor, the symbolisms, and all the other, literary wordisms to explain what's happening in this current arc. This is where Tatsuki Fujimoto's secret sauce comes into play. So you have these themes of, in the previous one with the government, now you have this religion-based theme, but this is blended with Tatsuki Fujimoto's satirical humor. So the chapter starts off epically. Mirisugo literally talks about taking over this cult and that they vanquish evil by taking over this building. This first page just hit me right in the gut. Not only is there a damn Chainsaw Man on this building, he refers to this cult as evil, while at the same time, he doesn't realize he's in a cult too. And that's one of the geniuses of this chapter and what's going on right now. I think a lot of us are stuck in something that we realize that we're not in, and that's what I kind of love about this moment. Then Dennis hits him up with the, yo, where the bitches at, man? You promised me bitches. So Mirisugo was like, yo man, relax bro, I got you. But first he calls for the young, impressionable, not a Chainsaw Man cultist, Nobana Higashiyama, to act as the guide for Denji. This whole first page is like a perfect setup for what's gonna happen next. It literally has all the elements that is going to be addressed. So right now you're already questioning this Chainsaw Man church. You thought it was a religion, but really it's a cult. And we all know, what does Denji want? He's trying to find a nice female partner that's not Fumiko Mifune. And most importantly, Denji's ultimate dilemma gets addressed by the end of the chapter. Advancing quickly in this chapter, it's brought up that the church consists mainly of students, which is interesting because the conceptual idea of young, impressionable kids, they are the perfect victim for cults. Mirisugo continues to explain something about a conspiracy theory about adults' minds being brainwashed by the American ultraviolet ray weapon used to make Japanese people slaves, and that Chainsaw Man discovered these ultraviolet rays as if, Denji isn't standing like right in front of him. So that makes you question a lot of things into what this cult is. Even Denji doesn't buy this like super far-fetched theory, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tatsuki Fujimoto made this real somehow later about this ultraviolet ray thing that's like brainwashing people of Japan. Even with the truth of knowing Denji is Chainsaw Man, Mirisugo goes on to spout out like this incredibly blatant lie with the truth literally standing right in front of him, and Denji literally saying, no, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro. Bitches. Show me the bitches. Next up, young Nobana takes Denji where he'll be banging a girl at this chapel, but there's a catch. After you bang this chick, you have to marry her. Yeah, that. Our boy Denji's just trying to have a one-night stand. The ding dong ditch, the pump pass. The young impressionable Nobana goes on to carry forward this conspiracy theory and says that marriage is essentially for students. You see guys, this is why some politicians are trying to raise the voting age, being young and impressionable and not really living years and years of an adult life, it's tough to take a young person's experience seriously, because there are a lot of Mirisugos and Nobana Higashiyamas out there. So you have this conspiracy theory disguised as an origin story that the cult believes in. Now the cult can leverage this, like, full origin story, so the cult can provide the solution for this problem to these young, impressionable students. So good thing Denji is a true genius. Like many of us horny men, we all think we're dicks and speak with it too. So Denji gives Mirisugo quite the mouthful, calling him out on his embellishments and, general catfishing that's going on here. This is where Mirisugo justifies something similar to what Makima said early in Chainsaw Man. Makima used the term necessary evil as a way to achieve peace. Mirisugo says they save way more lives than the few that get screwed by their embellishments, their lies. So this is where a character that's new but not so new, that no one remembers, shows up again. He was there when Mirisugo, when they were fighting for Makima, when they were brainwashed against Chainsaw Man. And that guy's name is Barem. So after Barem introduces himself with the peace sign, the discussion of why Chainsaw Man isn't showing up comes up. So what would make Chainsaw Man come back? So he too is talking about Chainsaw Man like Denji is not standing right in front of him. So Denji essentially explains that he isn't needed anymore. He isn't there because there are other devil hunters in his place. They have a new star now. They have Asamitaka. So guys, I want you guys to think about this. To me, this kind of facilitates the idea of taking care of things yourself versus letting other people do it for you. This example, you could take a lot of things away from this. When you have Denji who wants to live this normal life versus all these other people that are taking care of this for him. But as people are taking care of it for him, that doesn't mean like all the responsibilities of what he feels like him as Chainsaw Man does is taken away. It's just replaced by something else. And now that replacement of something else, Asamitaka, these other devil hunters from this other Chainsaw Man church or whatever, this other cult, is doing all these things for him. Is that really the best thing for society? Is that really the best thing for Chainsaw Man himself? Which, is that the best thing for Denji? So you have this dilemma brewing right now, right? Again, what is Denji gonna really do? Will he turn into Chainsaw Man again? So Barem, he creepily, in super disturbing fashion, asks if killing Asamitaka would bring back Chainsaw Man. So he specifically points out to someone he might care about or someone that he believes that is a great replacement for Chainsaw Man, that is Asamitaka. Would getting rid of her bring back Chainsaw Man? So that makes you question, hey, look, why do they want to bring back Chainsaw Man? What is so important about Chainsaw Man? I think the obvious answer is pretty much his ability. He can consume anything and erase history, which you can always build new narratives over that. So what is public safety trying to do? Public safety is trying to make Denji not turn into Chainsaw Man, use this fake Chainsaw Man, build a new narrative, build a new hero in their own vision. So you have all these things that's kind of swirling right now that we're all kind of thinking about. So you guys can see how this dilemma is coming to a head right now. So guys, at this end of the chapter, there's just a lot of things to take in, and there are a lot of different perspectives and things that you can pinpoint where, okay, Tatsuki Fujimoto is making us think of this general dilemma of being Chainsaw Man and not Chainsaw Man, but which of these general directions and things that we're picking out is going to be the ultimate direction? What is going to be the ultimate learning lesson behind that? So it's still really, really early in this arc, and to really tell what is to come about it, what are we going to be taught by Tatsuki Fujimoto in his viewpoint of the story of what Denji is going to ultimately choose and what is ultimately going to happen. So what is it going to be? And what's clear is, Tatsuki Fujimoto wants us to really think hard about Denji's dilemma and all the forces around him that's trying to manipulate him to do one thing or the other. So there are a lot of things that you can take at face value. Hey, one side wants him to be Chainsaw Man for whatever reason, most likely his powers. And the other side is, hey, you know what? We will take care of it. We will take care of it. And that is the public safety side that's trying to protect Denji, but at the same time, is that really for the best of the world? So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this latest chapter, chapter 140, scales. You know, tipping the scales, going back and forth. Do you want this normalcy of life, or do you want to go about life as your one true self? So yeah, I would love to know what you guys thought. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com. Check out my anime collectibles channel where I collect plastic and cardboard. I'll eventually make content over there. But yeah, check out my latest anime review over Bastard Season 2. It's episodes 1 through 15. I think it's just like the first half of the season, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I did a review over it. Check that out. And there are spoilers in it, so if you guys don't want to be spoiled, I guess don't watch it. But if you guys don't really care, I would definitely recommend you guys watch that video. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.